it sucks that two of my favorite hobbies, and these are more than hobbies to me because I follow these things religiously, right? These two things that I'm about to name. One is combat sports, which includes MMA, jiu-jitsu, and like boxing, and the other is video gaming. These two things are, man, what would be a word that would describe something that's a little more than a hobby, right? Because a hobby just sounds like it sounds tame. And my love for combat sports and video games is not tame. It's it's right it's bordering right between crazy and tame, like right in the middle of that. So it's higher than just a hobby. It's I can't say it's a lifestyle because I don't identify as a gamer and I don't identify as a combat sports athlete. I don't identify as an athlete, let alone anything resembling combat around that. I'm generally a peaceful person. At least I like to think so, and pretty reasonable guy. So for me to even like these type of violent sports, it blows my mind, you know. But I can't get enough of it. Uh, Same thing with gaming, right? My point is that even though I love these two hobbies. They're the most toxic fan bases you can possibly imagine. Now, I hear that a lot, right? A lot of people go, oh, it's a toxic fan base because they had just a few bad interactions, right? You can call anything a toxic fan base, right? And they do. I've seen the overuse of it, just like I've seen the overuse of the word scam, right? Scam has that's like become a buzzword on the internet, right? Anything's a scam, right? Like, in the most, that word has become like like bastardized. Is that the word I want to say? It's been watered down. Like, it doesn't have the same effect it once used to, right? When I was growing up, right? Scam would be like you saw a guy out in the street, right? And he was selling something. You know the deal. You know it's hot merchandise. You know it's probably stolen. You know it's most likely stolen. You know it's stolen. You still go for it because it's a cheap deal, right? Let's say it's a TV or some sort of an appliance, right? A toaster or VCR. The case if you don't know what a VCR is, I just revealed my age. It used this thing where you played cassettes. If you don't know what a cassette is, I'm really old. And long story short, before streaming, there were VCRs. Look into it. It's ancient technology from caveman times. So you would get this box, you would buy it off this guy for dirt cheap. You'll go home, you'll open it up, and there'll be bricks inside of there, right? So you're like, fuck, I just got scammed. Scammed, the literal definition of scam, or at least what it used to be, is you paid for something and you didn't get that. Now, you can see how that's kind of vague, right? Before it used to be physical items. Now that term has been translated and has transitioned into digital items. So now you can buy a video game assuming that you are getting what you paid for, whatever that video game may be. Like, it could be a shooter, it could be a racer, it could be all types of any of those games. And then it's not to your expectations. So, sorry, I had to shut it off there for a little bit. Let me get this drink of water. So, you buy this game, it's not to your expectations. Maybe it's an early access game, or maybe it's undercooked, maybe it has a lot of bugs, or maybe just the systems and the mechanics aren't in place. So you kind of can go, oh, I got scammed. And it's like, not really. Like that, yes, but not yes. Yes, but no. No, but yes. Like, it gets a little hazy there. So, but anyways, it's become some weird buzzword that I see all the time in YouTube, and most likely is to get clicks, which is like, you know, speaking of YouTube, of how abysmal it's become all about monetization, bright contrast videos with you know dudes home aloneing, putting their hands to their face and whatever. Man, you already know what YouTube is like. But I follow two of the most toxic fan bases, and like I said before, that word toxic in fan base. It can be applied to anything, but like it's wild to me how in video games, right, you can just review bomb things unfairly, right? And it's like there's something that people enjoy doing that drives me insane, and that is cutting anything that's higher than them down, right? What is it? Tall poppy syndrome? Is that what it's called? It's like, you can't have anything higher than you, which is like that's so human, right? It's so human to project your insecurities and your misery onto others, right? How can you exude happiness when you're unhappy, right? How can you exude anything positive when all you're feeling is negative inside, right? Don't you notice that like when you are no longer feeling negative, you want everyone to be happy? You ever like didn't feel too great, then got some really good news, and then you just felt great, and then you just you were treating people nicer, even if it was just for a brief moment. Why? Because you're projecting, right? People forget that projecting can go both ways, both negative and positive. When you're happy, you're projecting happiness. When you're negative, you're projecting negative. People forget that. They mostly just think about the negative. So I'm not saying to fucking become some sort of fucking hippie and start being positive to everybody. Some people are assholes and you have to act accordingly, right? Now, it's not an invitation to go out there and start punching people. But, some people need to be let known. Like, hey, man, you're being a dick. Or however you do it. Hopefully, it's not hurting anyone. But it sucks, man, that like I have to go through this every single day. Like, for example, the Scum 1.0 update just came out, right? I think my next video might be about Scum. Maybe, maybe not. I've made it already, and it's been a while since I've last played Scum, and the 1.0 update just came out yesterday, and I've been playing the game since yesterday. I played a little bit today too. I'm enjoying the hell out of it, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I like the game. I like the game a lot, but I don't see too much of a big difference from the last time I played, which was maybe god damn, maybe roughly 2 years ago, maybe 2023, something along those lines. Even though a lot has changed, like the one thing that I was looking forward to the most was the NPCs, right? Because I like to play PVE, right? So me and my girlfriend, we would get together, make a world, and play PVE, and that's what I was looking forward to the most. So, and I got that, and it's been pretty good. I only seen two NPCs so far. One shot me with a few arrows, then punched me in the stomach until I died. He like stun locked me. Um, that was interesting. And then the second experience was this guy that I went inside the house, and he was like near a banister as I was coming up the steps, and then I shot him twice in the face with some arrows and killed him. I was like, okay. It seems like the NPCs, it's too early to tell because I only ran into two of them, but it seems like they're kind of basic. But that's okay. That's just the foundation of what they're going to continuously build as time goes on. I'm sure they're going to be tweaking them, and so that's great. I'm with that. So, but what I'm trying to say is that although so much has changed from Scum, it kind of still felt like Scum. It still felt like a good game, but I can't say there's anything about it that I was like, oh, look, this is new or this is different. It felt like Scum, a good game that's, made better with features. And I know a lot of that shit is under the hood, which is great. I love under the hood. I love quality of life updates. So I'm cool with that. But I knew, right, that as soon as I saw that big banner on Steam, right? Let me check right now. I think it's still going on right now as of June 18th, 2025. Let's double check just to be sure. Nope, it's Fishing Fest now. But for all day yesterday and a good portion of this morning, you just saw the big banner right in the front, like the headliner banner, and it said Scum 1.0 release out now. And I was like, uh-oh, right? Instead of going like, yeah, which I did because it didn't catch me off guard. I've been following this update for like maybe the last 2 years, no bullshit. Once I heard they were going to add NPCs to the game, armed AI bandits, I said, fuck yeah, let's go. And so far I'm pleased with what I have here. Uh, but that's not the point. The point is when I saw that 1.0 banner, I was like, uh oh. And the only reason I said uh oh is because I know how toxic the gaming community can be. And I was right. As soon as I clicked it, first of all, for the first couple of hours, I would say even mostly all day yesterday, it said positive. And I was just waiting for the mixed review or even for it to go negative. And I don't want to, not stereotype, but I'm trying my best not to generalize, right? But it's like when you think two things in your head and both of those things come true. Like for example, it's like you ever met someone who you know is gonna say some slick shit because you know how they are. And guess what happens? You have a conversation with them and they say some slick shit, and you're like, I knew this shit was gonna happen. I fucking knew it. Why did I even come up to this person? Why even say hi? I knew this was gonna happen. That's what it was when I saw that Scum 1.0 headline. I was like, I already know that they're going to start bitching about this game. And a lot of these bad reviews are going to be from people who played either for an hour and a half and wrote this long winded review, not giving a survival game any type of real chance because they were just so anxious, just chomping at the bit to be negative, right? Or you're going to get these other reviews from these motherfuckers who played this game for over 1,000 hours and go, I can't recommend this game. Like, and guess what? Just like that guy that you knew was going to be an asshole when you spoke to him, that's exactly what happened when I saw the reviews for Scum. I was like, oh, look at this. Not surprising. Those two same exact type of people, right? And then you've got the other ones who, like, just, I guess, never played a survival game before in their life, let alone one like Scum, which is a little more hardcore. And then you've got the ones who they just want to be negative. Come on, we can't count those out. You know why I can't count those out? For some people, it's hard for them to wrap their head around this idea, right? That there are people out there who just want to fucking hate on something because it's popular. Or they want to just hate in general because they're not happy. Like I was mentioning earlier, there's a lot of those fucking people in the gaming community. A lot. Too much, maybe. And I know these people exist because I felt like that, right? Because being humble, practicing gratitude, that's a skill. That's something that you have to fight what you normally feel, right? When someone pisses you off, you get that feeling in your chest like you want to attack this person, sometimes physically, sometimes verbally. But you have to like take that feeling, you have to like ball it up, and you have to just say the opposite out of your mouth. You have to go, "Oh, okay." I'm not saying for you to be phony or fake or not say what you feel. I'm just saying that you can't just be a fucking child and throw a tantrum and attack every single person who you don't agree with. That's not how life is, right? You can't always get what you want. So you have to be an adult. You have to just go, look. You have to pick your battles. Like I know I could fucking go back and forth with this motherfucker right now. I know I can, but I'm not. I'm not gonna do that. So I see these reviews, and honestly, out of all the negative reviews I read so far, only one kind of made sense, and it was a guy who played it for quite a while. He wrote a nice, lengthy review, as they all do, and it kind of made sense. Like I kind of was like, all right, I can't like it or unlike it. I'm like, I guess I get where you're coming from. But the rest of them, like if I read like 15 reviews, right, I would say one, no bullshit, one out of 15 actually made me go, I kind of see his point. The rest were just like, no, 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 what is this? Why are you mad? That doesn't make sense. You're just angry. You know what I mean? Like, but man, I hate that. I hate that about my community. And I know that video gaming and MMA aren't the only communities out there that are quote unquote toxic. I'm trying my best to avoid using that word because it's another word like scam that's been overused like a motherfucker. And the meaning of it has been, you know, kind of lost in translation. Am I still recording? I'm over here on the Steam page. Forgot to bring it back. I am still recording. Aren't you lucky? So I find myself thinking a lot about, like I said, I was originally going to make this video about scum. Uh, and and by originally, I mean like I didn't even think about making this video about scum when I started recording this. I only realized as I was recording this, like 5 minutes ago, like, oh, I could have just made a scum video instead of just ranting. But I'm like, you know what? I like ranting. It's more fun and it releases stress. So maybe I'll make a Scum video next, like a Scum 1.0 video, but that'll be hard because like it feels like the Scum from 2 years ago. And I mean that in a good way. I'm not saying nothing changed. I'm just saying I like Scum back then and I like Scum now. I like Scum even better now that there's armed AI in there. So it'll be hard for me to make a video about something that I feel so far in a few hours that I've played the 1.0 version hasn't been too massive difference of a change. For those that have been playing Scum these past couple of years, I'm pretty sure you guys are like, "What the hell are you talking about?" You know, to me, they're like, "What are you talking about, dude?" Like, there's been a shitload of changes, and maybe I will see them because, like I said, I haven't played for long enough yet to see them. So, yeah, like I'm sure. I think this is what I was talking about. I kind of lost my train of thought as usual, but like I'm sure that there are other fan bases out there that aren't the greatest. Uh, but it does suck that it is in my community, man. Like I do wish that I wish it wasn't so easy to just write a review and not even sound intelligent and give a thorough explanation as to why you don't like it. And even those that do give thorough explanations, it still sounds ridiculous. It's just word salad, right? It's just these long winded bitching marathons where it's just like, bro, you're just venting. You're not like, you know what I mean? Like, and then the problems are so small, and that makes me think about their psychological well-being, right? It's like, damn, if this shit triggers you, right? Like, Jesus Christ, what else triggers you? You know, like you slightly burn your toast, you're ready to call your psychiatrist. Like that type of shit, you know? So there was something else that I was going to segue to that was a much broader subject too. I wasn't bitching. God damn it. What was it? It's going to come to me. Just give me 2 seconds. Let me see. Oh, I remember. See, all I needed was just to be really quiet in the middle of recording, which is something you should not do. Also, I'm not a fan of the ability to be able to openly criticize someone and then not get criticized yourself, right? I believe I've mentioned this before, but like people who bitch and moan in the comments, or people who even give a sensible negative review on something, right? Or positive review, and then they turn off their comments, right? They turn off their comments because they're afraid of the blowback. They're afraid that they're going to upset people and they don't want that negative energy coming, right? And it does come, right? There are some people who don't know how to express themselves. And there are some people out there who are just assholes because it's the internet. In their world, they think that they get a free pass at being an asshole because it's the internet. And that fucking sucks, right? Because it's like, why? Like, you're not like that in real life, right? I'm assuming that you're a reasonable person in real life, though. Then why would you be a complete asshole online? Right? I don't understand why you think that's okay. I don't know why that culture is accepted, that the trolling and all that. Like, I get it. Sometimes it's funny, and I'll be the first one to tell you that I rush to the comments when I see some crazy shit just to see the funny stuff that people write. I'm guilty of that for sure. But what I am not guilty of, or what I am guilty of, well, what I'm not guilty of is being a complete asshole to people, regardless if they're a celebrity or not, regardless if they're going to read my comment or not. Because these people that write a lot of the time, when these people write these negative comments on people's pages, they know that the celebrity themselves ain't going to read it. They're hoping that they do, but it's mostly for the other people that are there. They want to be, they want to use shock humor, or they want to like just be negative just to get eyes on their shit. And I've seen it before. I gave this example before. One of my friends, he uh he was a big wrestling guy. So was I when I was younger. I'm not at all nowadays. It's I'm sorry, man, but wrestling is so cringy. I wonder why it's still popular. I'm gonna be honest with you. And this is coming from somebody who fucking loved wrestling. I loved wrestling growing up. Bret Hart was my favorite wrestler. And I've tried it again. I've said this before. I tried again in like 2015, 2014, 15. I tried again to get into it. And I did for a while. I believe I got the WWE subscription, and I was like, this is cool, and then I couldn't keep up with it. I was just like, I can't do this, especially from someone like I watch actual combat sports, and it's like it's hard to look. Entertainment is entertainment, right? Whether it's real or not, right? So I don't fault people. My brother loves wrestling. He watches Monday Night Raw. I don't even know if it's on Monday anymore. It used to be. It might be. I don't know. I heard it's on Netflix now. I don't know. But I forgot my original point here as usual. Uh, Long story short, I don't hate on people who watch wrestling. I'm just saying that like I don't watch it anymore, but entertainment is entertainment, so you do you. I guess video games are a suspension of belief, just like wrestling is if you really think about it. So that's why, plus these motherfuckers are, even if everything's choreographed, right? Like you're still literally flinging your body around acrobatic, like getting CTE from just bumps, right? All day long, right? You guys, I don't think there's an off season in wrestling. It's like almost every day, multiple times a week, you're engaging in these high risk acrobatics, and it's like that's man, how can you not be banged up, you know? So to go back to my original point is, well, not my original point, but more like the people who turn off their comments when they, like, think about it like this, right? Like imagine if you go, I'm going to hold a town meeting, and then you stand on the podium and then you tell everyone your grievances and everyone listens intently, right? And then the crowd goes, okay, it's our turn to talk, and you go, nope, and you turn around and you leave. You know what I mean? Like it's like, hey, this wasn't a meeting, this was just you talking. Well, it was a meeting, but it wasn't a conversation. And the way I see it is, it's simple, right? If you want to openly criticize something, then you should be prepared to be openly criticized yourself. It's that simple. It's that simple, right? You can't just criticize something, turn off your comments, and go like, yeah, there you go. I will not invite any type of discourse, any type of conversation, any type of rapport on my message boards. And then you can use, sure, you can lean on the fact that people aren't civilized and they're going to start calling you names and they're going to start going off topic and they're going to start just insulting you and being disrespectful. Sure, yes, that happens. I'm not going to pretend it doesn't, right? But we also know that, like, a lot of people just, they don't want any confrontation, even if it's reasonable. They just don't want confrontation. They just want to just vent out into the vortex, into the abyss, and then not hear nothing back, right? Like, I believe constructive criticism is good. And I mean, I know for some people it's a lot harder to shake off and let insults roll off their shoulders. Some people are more sensitive and they think about that shit, daily. They're at home and they're like, damn, that one dude that says something on the internet, it's pissing me off, or it's making me feel sad. I get it, man. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like that's never happened to me. Like the last time I argued with someone on the internet, Jesus, like it was quite a while ago. And you think about it, right? Like it's not. I don't feel good in these confrontations, right? Even though this person is probably not even a real person. I don't know anything about the person I'm arguing with online, but yet in the real world, I'm thinking about this person. They're occupying a space in my mind, and I'm getting upset thinking about it because they think they're so snarky. And let me show them. I've been there, man, and it's like you gotta like almost practice. No, it's not almost. You actually do. You have to practice nuance and patience and all that. That's a learned skill, man. And for those people who turn off the comments, I believe it'll benefit them. I really believe it'll benefit you to just leave your comments open and let people just say what they want, even if they're disrespectful. You don't have to reply. Just, as a matter of fact, don't reply. I would urge you not to reply to those who say negative shit, because these people, they're not contributing anything to the conversation. They're just making the conversation turn into an insult fest, right? Which is not something that you want. Obviously, if you took the time, you're one of these people who post a comment, right? A review on a video game, and you took your time to write this long winded explanation or a review or criticism of this game, then that means you're someone who's like, okay, well, I'm kind of open to I'm open to criticism, all right? Because I took this long to criticize someone else, so I must be open to criticism. That's what I used to think, right? Then I realized, like, wow, a lot of people don't do that, and that pisses me off. I just feel like you should be openly criticized if you're willing to openly criticize. That's the way I'm gonna feel about that, and you know, whatever. So it kind of reminds me of people who like to play PVE and not PvP. Like me, I'm a big PVE guy, 100%, right? Whenever I whenever I go on like uh comments or Reddit or wherever, message boards or whatever the hell you call them nowadays. I'm not even sure if you call them message boards anymore. That's like old school shit. Forums, I guess. Archives. So, geez, my phone keeps blowing up. Give me 1 second. Sorry, I got interrupted again. That's the second time this happened during this conversation. I had to go back and just fucking listen to a little bit of this same podcast just to remember what I'm talking about. These things are hard, man. I'm not recording. I'm not recording. Sorry, I'm not writing anything down. It's just right off the head. That's why it sounds all jumbled up and fucked up. But if you've been listening, thank you. It reminds me of people like me who like to play PVE, right? And then even the developers of Tarkov, like Battlestate Games, they said that the reason why people don't want to play PvP is because they're scared of other players in PvP. And there's truth to that, right? uh, it is kind of scary when, especially when you play Tarkov and you're playing against players. But that's not it for me. It is kind of scary because these motherfuckers are highly skilled, and you don't know if they're cheating. You don't know if they're honestly playing, but they're good. There's lots of sweats out there, man. Not everyone's a sweat, but there's lots of them out there, and that's what makes it intimidating to me. It makes it scary. It's still not enough for me to be like, I'm not gonna do it. Like I'll do it if I have to, but if there's a PVE mode, I'm always gonna pick the PVE mode. But once again, it's not just fear from other players. It's also, like I just mentioned, it's cheating, right? It's like there are cheaters out there. And that's a big issue. That's a big reason why a lot of people do switch to PVE. So I forgot my original correlation between what I originally was talking about and now, but I guess what I'm saying is like you gotta be open to criticism if you're gonna criticize. And it's not good to live in a closed bubble surrounded by yes men. And there's nothing we can do to stop the toxicity of the internet, right? It's like when someone posts an offensive video online and someone else writes, I can't believe you would post something like this. This is so fucked up. And then someone's rebuttal to that would be like, this is your first day on the internet, isn't it? Right? And that's like what they're saying. It's like the internet is fucked up as well as the people, and you're over here overreacting to it. I can tell you don't have the experience. You haven't been here before, so that's why you're flipping out like that. And it's like that's kind of putting a band-aid on the situation, right? It's like that's telling you change yourself. Don't The internet's not going to change, but you can change yourself. Like become desensitized, basically. But then that doesn't clear the root problem. The root problem is, why is the internet that way? Why does it have to be shitty? Why does it have to be shocking? Why do people have to be disrespectful and feel like it's okay to tear others down and talk and follow? I was telling my girlfriend this earlier today. I was saying like that. Imagine people online, especially like on Instagram, they would follow people they don't like and then just follow them just to talk shit on things that they post about. So I'll give you an example. Like, let's say I don't know, Michael Jackson. Just shut up, all right? Listen, I'm trying to think of a celebrity that's like, I was going to say not alive. I'm not helping myself here. Fuck, why'd I choose Michael Jackson? Let's just roll with Michael Jackson. I stop asking questions. Just listen. All right. Let's say I follow Michael Jackson, and every time oh, this isn't working. Let's say I follow a celebrity, right? Scrap Michael Jackson. Let's forget about that. Let's say I follow a celebrity that I don't like, and then this celebrity posts something up, and I'm one of the first people to go, right? Yeah, that's why you're stupid, or whatever I write, and I'm just like, that behavior is crazy, right? I'm taking time out of my day to follow someone to keep up with someone I don't like. And I told my girlfriend this morning. I was like, imagine, apply that to real life. Imagine you met someone you didn't like, right? But then you still follow them everywhere they go. Then you see them at the auto body shop getting their car repaired, and you see them and you go, fuck you. And they go, fuck you. And then that person leaves, goes to McDonald's, and then you're right behind them. You go, fuck you. And then they go, fuck you. Like, imagine following a person you don't like in real life. You know how psychotic that is? You know what I mean? Like, that's so fucking crazy. And then people do it online all the time, and it's okay. It's like, yeah, I follow lots of people I don't like. I go on their profiles and I troll. And I'm like, what kind of life do you have? Where's the fulfillment? Where's the enlightenment in your life that you have to feel that you have to constantly just fuck with people that you don't like? It's weird, man. You can't sit here and tell me it's not weird. It's fucking odd to me. But those are the breaks, right? There's nothing I can do to stop the way people are on the internet, man. I just don't engage, man. I'm a firm, hard believer in don't feed the trolls. Seriously, don't. Even if they say some nice shit about you, just don't engage. You don't know who's real, you don't know who's not. It's too risky. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just keep doing you. Sorry for this jumbled ass podcast. I was all over the place. I was getting distracted a lot actually. Whatever. I'm out of here. See you guys next time.